Hello and welcome. This is Tyler Watson here, and I'm really excited to be here with you. My wife, I think, will be joining me here in a second. And we're going to share a lot today on some of the hidden relationships we found as entrepreneurs that really make or break your business and your entire life. And hey, honey.
Hey.
Welcome. So we've got Cheryl here live, and we have many others who are going to hit the recording. So we'll see if any others hop on as we go along. And sounds like audio is good. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can see this. And from the beginning. So can you see this PowerPoint? Okay, if you can, just put in the chat there. Let us know that you can see that. And then we'll kick it off. Okay, awesome. Well, let's get started.
It's really off to the side. I can't see the whole thing though.
It should be, might be on your end because that's shared screen, full screen there. You might hit a different view button. Let me just check something here. Screen. I'll keep working on this. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that should work. Let us know if you can't see it or if it's too hard. So here we go. So we're going to teach today on the 5 hidden relationships that can make or break your business. Now, this has been an evolution over the past 4 or 5 years that we've really found over the hundreds of people we've worked with, that if one of these relationships are off, their business or their family life or just how they overall feel will drop. And it's not actually sustainable success. So we're going to teach you how to create unstoppable success in business and live a vibrant, happy, total, fulfilled life. And it deals with relationships. So one of our favorite topics, and I believe it's the foundation to all lasting success. All right, so for those of you who have not been with us or you haven't had the opportunity, if you stick around to the end, we're going to share with you. We always like to share opportunities to move forward. And today we have something cool, something special to share so that you can take your business, your relationships, and balance them all to take it to the next level. And we'll share with just a little brief at the end of today. So go for it.
Today we're just going to cover why your relationships are so important to your business, the 5 key relationships that are affecting your business, and how to shift them and create fulfillment and lasting fulfillment and results. And we're really excited to share this with you. So go ahead. Have you ever experienced, here's some things, ups and downs in your business, inability to maintain success, feeling burnt out with what you do, even though it's your passion, putting on a show for those you serve, wanting to withdraw or feeling triggered, feeling lost or unmotivated, self-sabotage through addictions or other things, frustration with lots of different, I just can't see the screen. Frustration with spouse or clients, inability to communicate with what you do in a way that makes people take action, the feeling you could be doing better in business or in life. I think we've all experienced these in some ways or another. And it's interesting, we'll tell a little bit more about our story in a little bit, but how Tyler and I, there's so many voices in the world that'll tell you the answer to all these things is some software, or it's a magic system, or it's some really cool process. And there's definitely things that will help with all those, but ultimately, we found that these things actually come down to relationships. Go ahead.
Well, let me just ask, for those of you who are here, and even if you're listening to the recording, I want you to pinpoint one of these that you are currently experiencing. So go ahead and go through this list, and you can either put in the chat box or jot down which one you're currently facing that you want to overcome. Because as we dive into today, there's going to be a lot of areas that we're going to hit in the next hour. And it's really important to get super present and super focused on what it is that you want to shift. So pick one of these, jot it down, because here on out, that's going to be really critical for you to shift. All right, moving on.
So if you've experienced those things and you want to go over them, you are in the right place. Unlocking these 5 hidden relationships can help you increase motivation, create sustainable foundations for every success, relieve stress and stress-related problems, generate high levels of fulfillment and happiness, get you exponentially more and higher quality customers and clients, making more money, and a lot of other things. And again, this is kind of counterintuitive to a lot of people. Some of you are like, yeah, duh, like my relationships affect my business. But some people are it's a new concept to them. So we're just going to talk about how those actually do affect each other, because a lot of people, especially, 20 years ago in the business world, they're like, it's business and then it's personal life, and you don't mix the two, right? But
which is actually the worst thing that we could do, because it causes separation. When we feel like we have to wear one hat and we take it off and we wear another, yes, it kind of helps. But what happens, I find that people who feel like they have to put on a role, then change and be another role, and change and be another role, you get very burnt out. You get tired. You get exhausted. And so the key is, can I be myself in all areas of my life and just be authentic to what I do and who I am? And if you can do that, you will gain all these cool things. So how many of you want increased motivation, more success, being able to make more money, generating high levels of fulfillment? If you want those things, put it in the chat box. Say, let us know, because that's the key. You've got to opt into yourself and say that I want something before you ever get it. I've never gotten something that I didn't actually want. And sometimes that's a negative thing, because I'm like, man, but these negative results I didn't want. But deep down inside, part of me was holding on to it, so I did get actually what I wanted. So we want to help you get what you do want and the positive side of it. So awesome. Thanks, Cheryl. Cool.
All right. So Tyler and I have experienced a lot of things. I just put a few pictures on this to illustrate. Tyler has a #1 Amazon bestselling book called The Enrollment Effect, which is all about forming relationships and creating your lifestyle, getting people enrolled in what you do. He's spoken all over the United States and Canada. He's traveled to Singapore to speak, lots of different things. He has a picture of us there with Dan Clark and Ted McGrath. And we've created a multiple six-figure income for a number of years now, and created $250,000 in a weekend. Lots of really cool things that we've been able to accomplish. But it wasn't always that way, and we didn't always start out as super successful. There's a picture at one of our engagement pictures. We look super young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at that point in our lives, it was a really interesting point. We were both new. We were kind of struggling in different ways. And we got married, and we were like, yeah, we're going to create this amazing lifestyle. We're going to create this amazing business. We're going to change the world, right? Well, this is where we lived. It was a tiny little apartment. And it was interesting because as we got started, Tyler he wanted to be a trainer and a coach, and he wanted to really make a difference in the lives of other people. But it was a little bit of a struggle at first.
And it was interesting because I only did what I knew, right? You don't know what you don't know. And so out of the 5 hidden relationships that we're going to talk about today, I had one of them that I would work on really, really hard. And I thought, okay, if I just work on this, everything else is going to work. And then I started to do the second one, and I was like, maybe this one. And then the third one. And then I was like, well, it still feels like something's missing. Have you ever had that feeling inside where you're going and going and going, and you feel like something's off, something's missing? Well, I had that feeling. And so as I started to learn about these 5 key relationships, I realized that I had to do them all. And something was really off.
And in our marriage, it was interesting because we would try to communicate. And it was interesting because at the beginning, we really struggled with communicating with each other. And then he struggled communicating with his potential clients. But as we were able to work on that, some amazing things happened. So I remember there was a time where, we were living in this tiny little apartment. We were barely making enough to meet the bills. Our rent was like $500 a month, but that was like a huge stretch. And then I got pregnant with our first child, and I couldn't do anything. And it was a really hard time. But as we continued, go ahead and go to the next slide. we started working on some things. One of them was we worked on our relationship with ourselves. I personally worked on a point where I was like, hey, do I deserve to have abundance, or do I deserve to just be in this place of like lack all the time? And I know Tyler went through a similar process with himself.
And so the self was the one that I knew about. And I was like, if I just work really hard on myself, everything else will work. So I like worked on myself every day, just relentless. And I found that still I felt something was missing. So then I started to incorporate how to communicate with my spouse. And it was tough. It was difficult to understand and to then communicate, because it was one thing to work on myself and feel like I was all good. But as soon as my wife came into the picture, I was like, I don't know how to actually work on myself anymore. I'm just inventing these breakthroughs.
And then we had to learn to trust each other in a huge way. Also, our higher power, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whoever you believe in, we actually had to come to a point of, are we actually going to trust in something besides money? Because if your life is built around money, you're not going to be able to achieve the success that you want. And also getting that relationship with money, we started doing this thing where we walk around saying, if I made $20,000 a month, how would I feel? If I made $100,000 a month, how would I feel? But before that ever actually happened to us, but we got ourselves in that place. Go ahead. And then obviously getting connection with clients and learning to communicate in a high level with them. And now we're in a really awesome place. This is the house that we lived in. And huge contrast to the place that we started from, and all those successes, $250,000 in a weekend, creating, a huge amount of abundance. But for us, the best thing is, go ahead, all the people we've been able to help. These are just a few of our clients that we've been able to help who have taken their success to the next level in a huge way. And a lot of our story has to do with our clients, because we're like, hey, we had all these breakthroughs. We started teaching people how to enroll clients. We started teaching people how to be successful in their business. And we noticed an interesting thing. The people who actually had great relationships in all of those 5 areas, those were the people who really were successful in their businesses. We could teach the exact same process, the exact same skills to one person, and who didn't have great relationships in those 5 areas, and they wouldn't get the same success as somebody who we taught the exact same things to, but they had great relationship with their spouse, with themselves, with their clients. Well, obviously clients, that's kind of the big deal, but with your higher power, and those things that you wouldn't necessarily think affect your business, but really significantly do. So let's ask you this. Why are you here? Why did you join us on this Thursday evening to join this webinar, take time out of your precious time? Because here's the thing, we want to tailor what we're doing in this whole experience to you. Like we said, we can teach you a lot of things about your business and about your relationships and going to the next level and all those different areas. We want to be able to share the things that are pertinent to the people who are here. And those of you on the recording, feel free to hop on our Facebook group and join and share some of the things you want to learn there, because we do a lot of training in our Facebook group as well.
So yeah, for those of you live, go ahead and put in the chat box, why are you here? What do you want to get out of today? Because even if you've heard some of the things that we're going to share, I promise you that if you have an intention to have a major breakthrough, to learn something and implement it in your business, in your family life, with yourself, with your higher power, with your money, whatever that category might be for you, that you can achieve that. And that's the key, is you have to want it. You have to desire it. So what is it that you want? And go ahead again and put that in the chat box.
So Cheryl says, more clarity and direction on my mission and purpose. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. We'll do some little things later that might help with that. And Sarah, I see you joined us, and those the rest of you who are joining us. Feel free, if you would like to, put in the chat box. We love to interact with you and help you get the things that you're looking for.
So let me just have you guys do a little process real quick. And just to get grounded for a second, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just get grounded, get present, get some oxygen to your brain. And go ahead and close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine waking up feeling excited. So you're just waking up, you just, you just laid down, you went to sleep, and now it's the next day. You're waking up and you just have that excitement inside of you about going out and living for the day. And as you wake up and you go out and you stand up with this excitement, you go out with this confidence and this sense of freedom, knowing that you're doing exactly what you are here to do on the planet. And you feel fulfilled. You feel just loving your life. And it starts in your stomach, and you get that sensation of tingly, just goodness inside, and it goes all the way up to your throat. And it's so nice that it just makes you want to smile as you're waking up and enjoying the day. And as you get ready and you go out to do your day, you find people coming to you, asking you about what you're doing and wanting to work with you. You find that your house and your family is in harmony, and that you find new things that you're confronting, and you're not afraid to go do something new. It actually gives you that excitement, that sense of freedom and liberation. And I just want you to breathe that in for a moment. And take on that belief, because that's critical to who you are. And if you can feel it and sense it, then you're well on your way.
All right, go ahead and open your eyes. Sarah says, I want to know what the next step to moving forward with my business. Understand more about creating my business in my feminine energy while allowing my husband to provide and live his dreams and support him in his masculine energy. We're a little bit mixed. Awesome. That's a big thing that we go over with our clients, is helping them get that balance going on.
I'm going to go check on our 2-year-old real quick. She's yelling, so take it away real quick.
Okay, so this picture right here is a picture. It looks kind of like the roads in Arkansas. And we met, Tyler and I, he grew up in Arkansas. And there was one day where we were going through, we had just finished a youth conference. Tyler and I are, trained youth. That's something that I did for 9 years. It's a huge passion of mine. And so here we are. Anyone been back east, you know that the roads are are really different than, so I'm in Utah right now, and the roads are pretty straight, pretty flat, right? This is in Arkansas though, and the roads were kind of like this. It's super curvy, super crazy. And as we're driving down the road one time, we're just finished this youth conference. I'm sitting in the passenger side, Tyler's sitting in the driver's seat, and here we drive, and we're driving, and we're just talking. It's so great. We're having this great conversation. And then all of a sudden we hear this noise out of nowhere, and it's like, and we're like, what is this noise? This is a crazy noise. Where did it come from? And we're just really confused. Like, where did this noise? And it actually is the car horn on the car that we're driving. And we were like, what on earth is going on? We're like, Tyler starts slapping the thing, trying to get the horn to stop blaring. Finally it did, and we're like, that was weird. Where did that happen? He didn't push the horn. How did that happen? So here we go, and we keep driving, and we get to a point where we're driving, we go another bump, and there's a car coming the other way this time, and all of a sudden you hear this, and we're like, where did this come from? This is so frustrating. And the other car, we're sorry, we didn't mean to honk the horn at you, right? And we're like, that was crazy. And we're like, whew, we got it to stop again. We drive into town, and we get to this point where we're in town, and we're in this tiny little town in Arkansas. It's called Jasper. If anyone's ever been there, Jasper, Arkansas, it's tiny. And Tyler likes to say like half the population of Jasper was crossing on the sidewalk in front of us on the crosswalk, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, and the horn is going again. And we were like, oh no, sorry, we don't mean to do this. Please don't get mad at us, right? And the horn just kept going off out of nowhere. We're like, this is really distracting. This is getting in the way of what we're trying to accomplish here. And so we pulled in, and we got to a point where, we parked the car, we left, we were going to meet Tyler's family, we went on a carpool, and we left until the next day. The next day we came back, and the battery on the car engine is completely dead. And we're like, oh my goodness, like there must be something going on with the electricity in the car. I don't know what's going on here. It's really crazy. And we jumped the car, we start driving, we drive back to Branson where we lived at the time, and we're just driving, and we're like, oh man, that was so great, we had a good time with his family, and all of a sudden we go over a bump again, and this time we hear this little like, And it was the car horn, but it was completely worn out. And it was completely like, it had like burned the car out basically. And the horn had been blaring so much that it couldn't even run anymore. And we actually had to go take it in. Otherwise the car was basically burning itself out. So why do we share this story with you when we're talking about relationships in your business? Well, one of the major things that happens when your relationships are out of balance is that you actually are like that car that you're going down, you're talking to a client, you're about to get them enrolled in whatever it is you're doing, and then all of a sudden and out of nowhere, your stuff comes out. Whether it's, I had an argument with my spouse last night, and you're sitting there talking to the client, and you're trying to be here with the client, but there's an energy that's off. There's an energy that's not going there, and people can tell. We like to think we can hide. We like to think we can segment our lives into different parts, but people can tell when those other parts of your life are not working. And we've seen this over and over and over again with our clients, where they're like, oh, I'm just going to go out and get money, and that money is going to solve all the problems in my family. But it's actually the other way around, right? If you can get your family working, and if you get your relationships working, then your business will actually work.
And the key, well, the thing that we see is that if you ever feel burnt out or tired or exhausted or unmotivated, it's because one of these 5 areas that we're talking about are off, that there's a blaring message that needs to be addressed. And it ends up costing you a lot of energy. It ends up costing you a lot of money down the road because you go see therapists or you go veg out or whatever it is. And it costs a lot of emotional capacity. It costs love. It costs being present. And so if one of those areas, one of those 5 secret relationships are off, it's like a blaring horn. So the game today is to see which horns do you have that are blaring that you're ready to shift, and to commit to shift them today.
So all of these things that we talked about earlier, they're connected to those relationships. For instance, ups and downs a lot of times happens because, number one, your relationship with yourself is off. So you're not consistently you're not feeding your soul. And also because a lot of times it has to do with your relationship with your higher power, universe, whatever you call it, because you don't get the clear direction that you need to get to where you want to go. Your intuition is off.
And you're not living your passion. A lot of people think, hey, I just need a business plan and a business model, and boom, they'll go for it. And some people may have had success that way, but in our life, from what we've seen, that if you're not in alignment with your higher power, you're not going to come alive when you're sharing your business. You're not going to feel inspired and like we did the visualization, you're not going to feel that way if that's off.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much all of these things, like we said, we could go through and tell you which one of these things, which one of the relationships is basically affecting it. So the truth of the matter is you can't hide anything. We like to think we can. I have coaches though that have taught me that literally if you don't say it, it shows up in your body language and in your tone of voice. And you really can't hide anything. So let's master the essential relationships, and each one of them has a place in our minds. Like we mentioned before, self, spouse, family, higher power, customers and clients, and money. So let's talk a little bit more about how and why messy relationships slow you down.
Awesome. So we've done this in the past, and we really like this analogy because each individual, let's say, is represented by a cup. We have a certain level of energy that we can fill in our cup. And what happens is once that cup is full, it's very difficult to take on new things. So if you put an extra drop in the cup, if it's totally full, it's going to flow over. It's going to feel overwhelming. It's going to feel like you just have no more space, right?
So as human beings, we really have places in our mind, obviously for ourselves, we have to have that taken care of. There's just, it occupies brain space. right? It's your spouse and your significant other, your family, your higher power, your clients, and your money. And there's a lot of other things that occupy your brain space, but especially these 5. So if any of them are not working, it's like this. It's like, look at my awesome illustrations, right? So it's like this, where it's like it's taking up space, and so your capacity to create anything else is actually diminished. You only have so much space left if those things are not working. If your self relationship is off, it takes off like a space in your brain. And literally, we can only focus on 7 things at once. You know, some people say 4, depends on which study you're looking at. Our brains only have that capacity. And if 2 of those things are occupied with the spouse thing not working, and I should have gone running, but I didn't, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and yada, 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 the amount you can actually focus on your client is very limited.
Questions about this so far? Is this making sense? Let us know if this is resonating. Just go ahead and put it in the chat box. Give us a signal that you're still awake and alive and getting this as we go. All right, and here's what these things are. That gray stuff represents stress, less creative power, bad decisions, few clients, small amounts of money, disconnection from your higher power, out of integrity with yourself, not keeping your commitments. Everything in that, in these categories, fills up your cup. And what happens then is if you're like, well, I'm reading good books and I'm doing good things, you're putting things in, but if you don't take time to clear out the junk and you're not upgrading your cup, you're going to maintain at the same level of success or failure, depending on how you look at it. So the key is there are 2 things. Number 1, clean out the cup. And number 2, upgrade the cup.
And it's just like laws of nature. If you hold things in for too long, it's got to go somewhere, like a dam. You can't just like inevitably, like forever, hold things in a dam. It either has to come out or it's going to explode the dam. And that's the same thing with us and our relationships and the things that are bothering us. So removing the blocks.
So here's some simple things. And there are so many amazing processes in the world. I use about 3 or 4 key processes to help remove blocks. And here is the process. So number 1 is to find the cause. Number 2, rate the emotional charge. Number 3, locate all the threads of the cause. Number 4, apply acceptance and forgiveness. And number 5, create a new belief. So these are the ways to remove blocks. So we're going to go through this and actually shift some blocks. And the easiest one that I've done in a group to me is emotional freedom technique, tapping. And I was taught it as bio-tapping as a Thai therapist from Dr. James, who learned through Dr. Gary Craig. And so the founder of EFT. And it's a very, very powerful process. So if you've already chosen one of your categories, now I want you to pick one of the struggles in those categories. So with self, with family or spouse, with higher power, with business, or with money, I want you to pick one of those categories that you feel like right now, just intuitively ask yourself, which one do I need to increase right now? Which one do I need to increase right now in order to get better success? Which one do I need to increase right now in order to obtain better success? So pick one of those categories, put it in the chat box. Let us know which one of those categories are.
Meaning one of
those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So self, spouse or family. So Sarah says self.
Great. And those of you listening, go ahead and do this process because this is going to make a huge shift for you. Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do, since you're live, I'm actually going to take you through a little process. So we got 2 selves. Great. So now we're going to get specific. So whatever area it was, whatever category, whatever relationship you picked, now you're going to ask yourself this question. What's the number 1 limiting belief that I have right now in this category? What's the number 1 limiting belief that I have in this category that's keeping me stuck? So just think about that. Tune in for a second. And a limiting belief is just a negative thought or a feeling that comes up regularly. So go ahead and tune in and ask yourself this question and jot it down, because this is going to be something. Go ahead and put it in the chat box for those live, and those who aren't, jot it down, because we're going to teach you how to process this. So just ask, what's the number one limiting belief right now that's slowing my progress in this category? And
so limiting belief about self, for those of you who put that, or money, or whatever else it is. Right.
Yep.
So great one. I'm not worth it.
Good one.
Anyone else felt like that, right?
Sarah says, I don't know how to take care of myself. Yeah, great one. Okay, so who would like to, because I can only do one at a time, so whoever would like to get processed and go through this, go ahead and unmute yourself and volunteer, because we're going to go through a cool process.
I'm here. It's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Awesome. So tell me about this limiting belief. I don't know how to take care of myself.
Oh, sorry. So you guys know I had a really bad accident a couple years ago, and I dislocated my foot, and I did everything the doctor told me to, and we felt like I needed to have another surgery, so I did. But then, I moved, and I didn't have the doctor anymore, and I didn't have where I went to physical therapy. I tried to go to another physical therapist, but, I didn't feel like he was helping, and, I can walk, and I can even run, but, after a while, it's just not like how it used to be, and I feel like I'm not putting enough resources into, trying to, fix it, and I don't really know how, and I think that's just symbolic of, how I try to do something to, get healthier, and I try to pay attention, and I mean, I do care about myself. I know I'm important, but it doesn't really last. And when you were talking about all this, I didn't know that it was affecting my business, but it makes a lot of sense, because my business does the up and down thing, just kind of like how my health and my feeling in my ankle and my weight and my excitement to go and exercise, they all do the same thing.
Okay, so here's going to be some of the limiting beliefs that come up with this, and this is very common, and especially in business and in all things, which is regarding, I actually had one of these come up today in some of the things that I was doing, and it's the up and down and not being able to maintain. And so this is a very, very good one to pick. So well done. So I want you to rate yourself 0 to 10 on inability to maintain success with your health, or overcome it completely to where you're actually rid of the whatever is wrong with your ankle.
So 10 being
10 being the worst, 0 being not at all. Yep.
I think ability to maintain, I'd say that's a 7, and being able to overcome, that's a 10, because I've worked on this ever since it happened, and it's not I know I can get back to where I was, but it's and better, but it's not there. So
okay, so it's the feeling of not being able to improve, not getting lasting results.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel as a person?
Really sad, because I want to do stuff with my body. I want to play. When I have kids, I want to play with them, and I just feel like I can't.
So let me ask you this, Sarah, because this is key in removing the blocks. I should add this, but part of finding the root cause is actually having a cause to live for. So if you could get better, if you could have this physical shift, what would you do with your physical health?
Oh, play tennis. I'd run. I'd have kids, and lots of them, and run, and be homeschool them and have them all day with all the energy, and we'll just have so much fun together, and running and particularly running, swimming, and tennis, and dancing. That's the other thing. The other day I was dancing, and I was like, I know I'm not like I was. I miss dancing so much.
Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is a tapping process, and some of you are familiar with this. And so whatever your cause is or limitation, you're going to tap on your chest, and this is all, we're all going to speak a bunch of negative stuff. This is a removal, okay? This is acknowledging what's going on, shifting it, and then rechecking. So just repeat after me, Sarah. I'm going to use yours specifically. And those of you listening, if this isn't yours, use something that is yours. So like you could do this with business, even though I'm not improving and I'm not getting lasting results and I'm not, whatever it is, right, that we say, whatever your truth is, your current situation, that's what you want to tap on. And then it'll shift. Okay? So ability to maintain lasting results. Even though I'm not able to maintain lasting results when it comes to my health.
Even though I'm not able to maintain lasting results when it comes to my health.
And that it always drops.
And that it always drops.
Because I don't deserve to have things that last in my life.
Because I don't deserve to have things that last in my life.
Because my past has shown me this to be true.
Because my past has shown me this to be true.
And I believe it.
I believe it.
I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
Even though it's hard to maintain lasting success.
Even though it's hard to maintain lasting success.
And to fully overcome my physical traumas.
And to fully overcome my physical traumas.
Because they just come back.
Because they just come back.
And I'll be stuck with it forever.
And I'll be stuck with it forever.
I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
Okay, now tap these points starting on the forehead, and you can do either side. I'm stuck this way.
I'm stuck this way.
I can't maintain my results.
I can't maintain my results.
My results drop.
My results drop.
As soon as I get a little bit of success, it drops.
As soon as I get a little bit of success, it drops.
I'm so frustrated and angry that it just doesn't maintain.
I'm so frustrated and angry that it just doesn't maintain.
I'm sad that I can't have my health back.
I'm sad that I can't have my health back.
I'm just really sad.
I'm just really sad.
Even though I'm really sad.
Even though I'm really sad.
Because nothing changes.
Because nothing changes.
And as soon as I get a little bit of results, I do something to drop them.
And as soon as I get a little bit of results, I do something to drop them.
And it's hard to maintain lasting change.
And it's hard to maintain lasting change.
I accept and forgive myself completely.
I accept and forgive myself completely.
It's hard to maintain success.
It's hard to maintain success.
My foot will never heal.
My foot will never heal.
Just going to stay stuck, and I can't dance or play or swim.
It's just going to stay stuck and I can't dance or play or swim.
I feel robbed of my fun.
I feel robbed of my fun.
I feel like all my fun has been robbed from me.
I feel like all my fun has been robbed from me.
I can't have fun anymore because all fun is tied to my feet.
I can't have fun anymore because all fun is tied to my feet.
Even though logically I see other people who have fun.
Logically I see other people who have fun.
Who don't even have legs.
Who don't even have legs.
But emotionally I feel completely stuck.
But emotionally I feel completely stuck.
And I feel, what do you feel? The word, is it vindicated or?
Anger.
Angry?
Yeah, I feel angry.
I'm angry.
And worthless.
And worthless. I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
I accept myself and forgive myself completely.
I feel angry and worthless.
I feel angry and worthless.
I'm angry and worthless.
I'm angry and worthless.
All my worth is tied to my feet.
All my worth is tied to my feet.
Without them, I'm nothing.
Without them, I'm nothing.
Without the full use of my feet, I have no purpose.
Without the full use of my feet, I have no purpose.
I can't do anything without my feet.
I can't do anything without my feet.
And I accept myself and forgive my feet.
And I accept myself and forgive my feet and my ankle.
Okay, good. So there's a lot here. And to get to the cause, there's a lot of pieces here that I would continue to work on. One of those being the wreck itself. So going in deep on that. The second one, though, is a deeper one, which is being able to actually just have fun regardless of your circumstances. And so I guarantee probably mom or dad, sometime back in the day, there was a time where you were trying to have fun and it felt like you couldn't because of something, some limitation, something. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all.
So that is going to be one of the deep causes, the roots that you're going to want to process and shift.
Okay.
So just thinking about this overall right now, 0 to 10, being able to maintain lasting results, where would you rate yourself thinking about your health? 10 being not at all, no maintaining.
I think it's shifted to, it was a 7 before, I think it's more like a 4 or a 3.
Great. So that's kind of how you do the process. And it takes some practice, it takes time, but the key is just to get to what your subconscious believes is real. And how do you know that? Well, it's based off of the results that you're getting. Because if you look at everything, you have ideas or thoughts that lead to actions, and then those lead to specific results. And so if you're getting a specific result over and 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 over, you have to look back at, okay, what are the thoughts that are going on that are leading to these actions? Shifting those thoughts or those beliefs then shifts the results that you're getting. So if people are like, how do I know what to tap on? Just ask yourself, well, what's the reality that I'm facing? Like, what am I really experiencing? And then you know what to tap on. And it's just like riding a bike. It takes practice. You get more intuitive. You get better and better. So is this good so far? Is this beneficial to see and to experience this?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Cheryl, was this good to see a little bit of a how to use this process a little differently?
That was really powerful.
Awesome. Glad.
Sweet. All right. So that's just a little example of removing your blocks. Like Tyler mentioned at the beginning, there's a lot of different ways to do that. But that's lowering that level of that gray stuff in the cup so you have more capacity to actually grow your business, which is what we're all here. You know, one of the reasons that we're here is we want to grow the business. So it increases your capacity. By lowering that, you can also increase your capacity by growing the cup, right? And how do you do that? Well, you do that by educating yourself, by keeping your commitments, by becoming the person that you really want to be in all areas, you know, setting those goals, hiring coaches, those kinds of things can increase your capacity so you can receive more as well. So another way to increase your capacity is through equanimity. It's a word Tyler likes to use. There's not a lot of people use that word. And then skill set. So Tyler, do you want to talk to us about equanimity?
Yep. So equanimity is a really powerful place, and it's one that I'm constantly striving to get to and learn and accept. Equanimity means to be in a state of non-judgment and acceptance, which guess what we just tapped, like the phraseology, right? Accept and forgive. That brings us to a state of equanimity, basically of being in a state where you don't get triggered, which is really powerful. Most people on the planet are trigger happy. They like one thing happens and boom, the horn goes off. Their horn's blaring. And then another thing happens and it gets amplified. And so being in a state of equanimity is eliminating those charges, getting rid of the horns essentially, and understanding oneself so that you can further love and understand others. very, very cool place to work towards.
And it's like the picture. A lot of times we see ourselves as like, I'm on this side of the fence, you're on this side of the fence, or whatever, and we're completely opposite. But really, equanimity is getting on the same side. So skill set, there's a lot of different things as far as skill sets to clear yourself out so you can do those things you want to. You just did one, he did an EFT, which is a great tool. Skill set, follow the thread is basically the idea of learning how to have a conversation with somebody where you listen to what they say and then repeat it back to them and relate to it so you can actually get to the core of what they're really actually trying to say.
In a place of non-judgment and not getting triggered, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Enrollment conversation, very powerful. Also used in relationships and to grow your business.
And it's helping people understand what they really want so that then you can help them achieve it in a really huge way.
So even going through that EFT process, there was a form of enrollment happening because in order to shift something, you need to have a why. So with Sarah, her why was saying basically like she wants to play tennis, run, to be able to have the kids she needs, and homeschooling them, have the energy, the fun, the swimming, the dancing. So as she's processing and letting go of these negative things, her cup is being emptied, essentially, and she's actually increasing her cup as she's allowing acceptance and forgiveness, that state of equanimity to happen, so that she can go for the vision, which is, hey, I want to be able to play tennis. I want these things. I want to be able to do this stuff. And as she's processing and letting go, then living for something, it gives her a why, processing with purpose.
Yeah, and then MF, which stands for masculine, feminine balance. We all have both of those in us, and balancing that in ourselves and in our relationship is really, really key. Defining words, meaning being able to take a word that is common or uncommon, but it means something to you that is not accurate. So for instance, success to some people means the expense of family. And just being able to identify that, oh, success, I need to redefine that word. So success means I have a great business and a great family, things like that.
And then getting to the root, of course, is kind of what we're going through, getting the root cause of what keeps triggering those limiting beliefs and those false realities that we've created.
So some of the things we've covered so far are mastering the essential relationships, the hidden relationships, understanding how and why messy relationships slow you down, removing the blocks, and increasing your capacity. Go ahead. Again, if you've experienced these things we've talked about, this process and these things, what we've covered will really, really help. So no matter what your business is, online, offline, product, services, coaching, speaking, healing, teaching, whatever it is, your business, right? It's defined by your relationships. And it's amazing to me how often people are like, no, it's not. And they'll go do their thing and their real thing. And finally they'll come back to us and be like, oh, actually it really was. So we want to share with something with you that I think will help, I know will help significantly with you being able to get down to those 5 key relationships, understand which ones are actually affecting you, and able to break through them so you can really grow your business. And we would like to share that with you if that's okay. Hopefully you guys are, hopefully you're getting some good value from this thing, and we would love to share with you how you can learn more and take it to the next level. If not, then we'll just, call it a good night and say we learned some things and we had a few breakthroughs. So go ahead and put that in the chat box, and again, those of you on the recording, we would love to hear from you as well on our Facebook group, just about what you're learning, what you're gaining, that kind of stuff. So go ahead.
So this is something that I've been evolving over the past several years, and it's been a really powerful, because most times in our life we don't know what we don't know. And so if you're going for a goal and you're not achieving it, whether in any of those categories, those key relationships, it can be very frustrating. We waste years going through the same cycles over and over and over and over. And what I've found that the most valuable thing to me has been is to actually interact with someone who can be a mirror and help us see exactly what's going on that we might have been afraid to confront. Because if we have the barriers, the walls, the emotions to protect ourselves, basically the horns that we've set up, those are just natural causes that happen through life. If you can have someone who can facilitate to where you can put down the horns, drop those negative blasts that are shooting off, lower the barriers, lower the walls, then all of a sudden you can get to what's real and to your true self. And when you can get there, power is unlocked. So this is called a business and relationship assessment. And what it consists of is a questionnaire that you fill out to be brutally honest with yourself, to get down to the nitty-gritty of what's good and what's not so good. And so once you do that, you have a 1-hour session with me where we will dive in on one of those key categories, and we'll either work on you to help you empty that cup. So maybe it might be processing. Maybe it might be a skill set that you need to learn. If you're like, gosh, my business is just stuck. I've got a good relationship with myself, my spouse, my higher power. I feel like money is okay, but the business aspect, I'm just stuck. Then we'll hit it and teach you skill sets to grow and to get leads and convert those leads. Let's say it's a relationship with yourself, like we had in here, and I just don't feel good enough. I'm not taking care of myself. Then to go through and give you tools to take that you can then leave and say, okay, I can now make some serious shifts in my life. Or maybe with your spouse, that it's like, gosh, I'm just not connecting very intimately with my spouse. Our intimacy is off. Maybe we're just not really communicating very well. Then maybe it's a mixture of both, clearing out and providing some skills so that you can communicate effectively to take your relationship to the next level. Maybe you're just like, gosh, I just can't get any inspiration for my business. Am I even doing the right thing? And I've prayed and I've meditated, but I'm not getting those answers. Then I'll teach you some of the blocks that stop us from getting those revelations and those ideas so that you can then get clear action steps and take those actions so that you can get the results.
So basically everything he just said, find the key relationships affecting your results today, expert analysis of your business and what you can do today to achieve your goals 10 times faster, deeper level of communication and clarity towards your goals, and a powerful action plan, which will be really awesome for you to experience. I've seen Tyler take somebody in 30 minutes, it wasn't even an hour, just to go through this process or a similar process to it and pinpoint exactly what the person needed to do, and they quadrupled their business within 6 months, which is really awesome.
So normally on something like this from Stage, I'll share and I'll offer it for $500. And I have plenty of takers at this level. The reason I'm doing it here is because we're doing lots of webinars and I want to make this available to as many people as possible. So the value on this is well over $500. And just to give you some ideas of some of the results, I mean, many of you who are here, you've seen what we're doing. You've been a part of some of our systems already. And some of you have. Some of you are brand new to this space. Some of you are like, gosh, is this even going to work for me? Is really the balancing the relationships the key? Well, with Heather, from going at it from this angle, we hit all of those aspects. She was able to create double what she was making in a month, which was $15,000. She was making on average from $15,000 to $18,000 a month in sales. And she'd been doing it for over 20 years. And as she balanced her relationships, she then took it to $36,000.
So she said, to give me an idea of my success with Tyler, I took my sales in a month from an average of $15,000 to $18,000 to $36,000. Emotionally, I've grown more in 3 months than in the past 30 years. We're missing a word there. My journey has been one that I can say is truly priceless. I've been able to catch insights as to what thoughts and behaviors have held me back and have given the tools to correct them and move forward in a positive, productive, and powerful manner.
So for you, I just want to ask, what's your big goal? Like, what's your, as Darren Hardy would say it, your BHAG, right? Your big, hairy, audacious goal, which scares the bejeebies out of you, but you know that if you could do it, you just come alive. Because Heather, she had a BHAG, and she didn't know she could achieve it, but she did because she balanced all areas, and it was phenomenal. Same with Larry and Kyle, amazing people. Some of you know them. And they were able to outsell their corporate leaders and be able to not only do that, but more importantly, they say, is we found balance, peace, and harmony with our higher power, our marriage, and our long-term family goals, which is key to make a balanced success, create that balance.
So let me ask you this question. If all this assessment did was help you see what's really stopping you, would it be worth it? To me, yes, 100%. If people could just pinpoint, oh, that's what's really stopping me, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. If it could help you get clarity on what relationships are affecting your business success right now and what to do about it, would it be worth it? Again, that to me is worth tens of thousands of dollars, and 500 is like pennies to that. And if all this did was help you know how to communicate with your clients so that you can't wait to get started with you, would it be worth it? I'll let you answer that for yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good question, because some of you have a business, some of you don't. Some of you are growing your business, some of you are starting, some of you are already been running it for years. And the question is, if it could help you communicate and really get consistent clients, then would that be worth investing in yourself to really pinpoint what's stopping you? Because one shift, once it's shifted, it's done. And then you can start to go get your results. For me, I remember there was a time where I was struggling. I was not enrolling clients. It was tough. And I would go out and I would knock doors and I would go to 26 different companies, and over, just rejection after rejection after rejection. And I thought, maybe if I work harder, maybe if I go put in more effort, and I'll just go work it tough and go do it more. Maybe I'll work on myself really, really hard. And I did. I did what I knew, which I knew the self, I knew the higher power, and I was working on the spouse. But I lacked the business side. I didn't have the skills to communicate with my clients. And so as I learned that piece, I was able to go from a place of not enrolling anyone to being able to do $10,000 in a month, $15,000 in a month, and scale from there. So that to me was so important. That one relationship cost me 7 months of struggle, probably more. That was only when I got married. Way before that, I was struggling a lot more than that. And some of you know my story. I mean, golly, like that was years and years and years of struggle because one relationship was off. Mm-hmm. So to me, so important and so valuable.
So today we want to share this with you, not for $10,000 or $1 million or for 97, but for 97. And again, that's just because we really want to serve you. We really want to help you find out what's stopping you and how to get through it. We want to help you, Sarah, publish your books and earn $1 million in a year and all those, become a motivational speaker, and all those different things. And Cheryl and those of you who are on the recording, we really want to help you achieve those goals. So to take advantage of this, go ahead and go to this site, and we'll go ahead and put it in the chat box as well, so that you can just click on it. And really, really excited for those of you who are going to take advantage of that. Again, I know how powerful this can be. I've seen tremendous, tremendous changes through people who make that decision and get the assessment, get the questionnaire, fill it out, go through the process, sit down with Tyler, or, online or in person. Most of you will be online, and just chat about what's really going on. And he'll just help you pinpoint some of the things that are stopping you. And then if you want more assistance in that, he'll schedule another appointment and you guys can go for it and get more assistance, and we'll figure out how we can help you at a further level. But really the whole point of this conversation is just to pinpoint what's going on with you and how you can go to the next level.
And give you some specific actions and some specific tools that you can say, I got it. I'm going to go make a difference. So there's the link. And very simple, you'll click it, you'll pay $97, and you'll schedule yourself in my calendar, and then we'll get on a call or Zoom and interact and have that powerful shift.
And there's a special bonus for those of you who take action tonight before midnight. You'll get that Authentic Enrollments course, which is a really powerful course. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Authentic Enrollments course is helps balance one of your areas, which is the business and client side. And it teaches 5 steps to enroll high-paying clients. Gosh, that alone, that was how I started my first 6 figures, was learning that first process. How to enroll high-paying clients through my stories, which is the next piece. It teaches you how to share your core story, how to inspire your clients to take action right then and there, so that they're not left wondering, well, should I do this? Should I not? Should I do this? Should I not? By the time you're done with them, they'll be like, I'm in, I want to work with you. Or they'll say, it's not a fit, not for me, I'm done. It also helps you learn to diffuse objections with the power of your stories and take your communication, your business to the next level.
And this, honestly, we sell this course for $100 by itself. So this is an added bonus for you get the conversation where you get to pinpoint, you get the questionnaire, you get all the different pieces of that where you sit down with Tyler one-on-one. He'll help you get an assessment of where you're at. Plus you get the course if you register by tonight at midnight.
Cool. So that's what we have. And are there any questions on anything that we've covered or for what you're getting on the offer? Any questions so far? If it's pretty clear, give me a yippee in the chat box. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that it's pretty clear for you. Awesome. Sweet. Or if you have any questions, anything that you had that was unclear, just let me know right now before we wrap up. Cool. So we just want to thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for spending the afternoon with us. And I'm super excited to work with some of you to help you have some shifts and just get you some momentum. To really make some life shifts. And for those of you who are local, just a quick share, not to take anything away from the offer, but if you would like information, we're going to be doing a 3-day event called Become Master the One. And that alone is going to be amazing. We're going to teach a lot of these same skills. So teaching how to redefine your definitions so that you're not in a state of depression anymore. How to overcome depression, suicidal thoughts, addictive behaviors. How to communicate with a spouse and a loved one. Powerful, powerful things. It's going to be in August 2nd through the 4th. And we'll have 6 other speakers who are elites from all over the world, well, all over the US. And they'll be coming and speaking on these subjects and giving you exactly tool sets, mindsets, things to use so that you and your whole family can shift. And it's for 12 and up. So if you're interested in that, you can just email me or Facebook me. My email's tyler@enrollmentmasters.com, tyler@enrollmentmasters.com, and just ask for information on the Become. So tyler@enrollmentmasters.com. If you decide to sign up for my assessment tonight, and for those of you who are on the recording and do the assessment, then in that assessment, if you are interested in the Become event, let me know and I'll get you a super epic discount. And so that'll be epic. So that'll be part of it as well. So you'll get not only the assessment, not only the enrollment, authentic enrollment piece, but also some opportunities to come to the live event for the Become event. Okay, so about $1,000 worth of stuff that I want to give away and really share with you because I know what it takes, and it's not just like a tool that you can learn in an hour. It's a life shift, and this is a journey that you're taking. So treat it as such, to say, is this really aligned with what I'm doing? Is this aligned with where I'm going? And if so, commit to yourself to do what it takes to get it. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, relationshiply, whatever category you have that you're focusing on, commit to be all in. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been an honor. I love having you guys here live. And those on the recording, thank you for listening. Go ahead again. The link is in the chat box, or you can go, again, I will put it up on my screen share so you can see the link. And here it is. Let me do this real quick so you can see that link one more time.
And we look forward to having more conversations with you.
Yep. So
Awesome.
enrollmentmasters.com/business relationship assessment with the hyphens there. So business relationship assessment. enrollmentmasters.com/business relationship assessment. And that'll take you right to it. Thanks so much. And you guys have an awesome day.